Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. And today we are once again back on Modern Warfare, and I wanted to share with you guys the best class setup for the Riot Shield. I know a lot of you guys have been having fun with this thing. It has been overpowered at one point. It was recently nerfed, and I want to share with you guys the best perks, lethal and tactical, that you can use to be successful with this Riot Shield, not weapon. But anyway, guys, let's jump right into the class setup. So we're going to be using the Riot Shield. Obviously, there are no attachments for this thing. We're going to be using the Desert Eagle as a secondary. Now there's a lot of different things that people have been running as their secondary. You can use a combat knife if you want to be able to move quickly, but if you don't plan on pulling out a secondary to get any kills with, then the combat knife will work. But we are planning on using the Riot Shield for this class setup as somewhat of a distraction, so that if we get players to run away or run towards us, we can just whip out a weapon really quick and take them out. And the Desert Eagle is a perfect gun to do that. You can run overkill. I've seen a lot of people run overkill and use a shotgun. However, the issue with that is that you sacrifice using EOD, so people can just throw grenades, any type of explosive, and take you out pretty quickly. So we're going to use the Desert Eagle for this class setup so that we can run EOD as our perk 1. So looking at our perks, we're going to be using specialist perks as well. So we've got 6 across the board. First being obviously EOD. We want to take that reduced damage from non-kill streak, explosive, and fire. This is amazing because people will get really upset as they tend to throw grenades and shoot RPGs at you with a Riot Shield, and they won't kill you. So it's really nice to have that EOD, especially if you're running the Riot Shield. The second perk we're using is Ghost. We're going to try to stay off the radar with this Riot Shield so we can sneak around and come up behind people. It kind of sucks when players know where you are because you're showing up on the UAV. With the Riot Shield, we're not going to be moving very quickly, obviously, because we have the shield out, so staying off the radar is going to benefit us greatly. The third perk that we're going to be using is Shrapnel. This is going to allow us to spawn with an extra piece of lethal equipment, so regardless of what you're using, you're going to spawn with 2, which can be very clutch when you basically don't even have a weapon at all. You just have a giant shield in front of you. There are a couple other perks in this list that are very useful, which is why we are using specialist instead of actual kill streaks. So our first specialist, the 2 kills we're going to be using, is Battle Hardened. This is going to reduce the strength of enemy flash, stun, and EMP. This is also very important when you're using a Riot Shield. The reason I decided not to use that instead of Shrapnel is because if you get Shrapnel from your specialist, obviously you're not just going to appear with 2 C4s or 2 throwing knives. So it's nice to have Shrapnel on at the beginning so that you immediately spawn with 2 C4s or 2 throwing knives, whatever it is you prefer to run, and you can already have those 2 lethal equipment, and then just by getting 2 kills you're already unlocking Battle Hardened. So you're already in the game to be able to obviously not have to worry about flash stuns and EMPs. The fourth kill specialist perk that we're using is Scavenger. This is going to be very clutch, especially if you are using C4 or Riot Shield or a throwing knife with your Riot Shield. It's going to allow you to just keep collecting lethal equipment that you can continuously use to just build your streak with your shield. Guys, back in Modern Warfare 2, I managed to get 23-0 in Search and Destroy just by using a Riot Shield with C4 and Scavenger. It is insane how well it works. So Scavenger is our fourth kill specialist perk. And then our 6th kill specialist perk is Amped. So Amped is going to allow you to have faster weapon swap and rocket launcher reload speed. So obviously we don't need to worry about the rocket launcher, but because we are using the secondary Desert Eagle, being able to have that faster weapon swap is going to be really clutch. So let's say, for example, we're going up against an enemy and the enemy runs at you or turns to run away. You can whip out that Desert Eagle and start shooting at them much quicker. So being able to use that Riot Shield as a distraction and pull out your secondary really quick is going to be really helpful. So those are the 6 perks that we're going to be using. Lethal is very important. So for me personally, what I think you should try to get used to is the C4. I think C4 is an amazing lethal that you can use, especially if you spawn with 2. I've found so much success in past Call of Duties using the Riot Shield and C4. However, with this game, it can be a little, it can go game to game because sometimes you'll run into a ton of players that are using EOD, and I would recommend starting with the C4. If you jump into a game and you find out that everyone on the other team is running EOD, you're not getting those 1 C4 kills, you can pull out your throwing knife and switch to a throwing knife and use that. Obviously, you're not going to get a hit marker with that. But I think C4 is great, especially when you're running Shrapnel, because if you don't kill them with that first C4, you can just throw the second one, and if it's anywhere remotely near them, it's going to take them out. So if you run into a game where everyone has EOD, then you can switch to the throwing knife, but I highly recommend you start by using the C4 because it is very, very deadly and will take out people like no other. The piece of tactical equipment we're going to be using is the stun grenade. Now, I know a lot of people that like using riot shields, like using the flash grenade. I like the stun. That way I can stun someone, keep them from moving. I can keep them in front of me so they can't shoot through my shield, and I can run up to them and just smack them with the shield, save my equipment if I have a C4. Don't have to really sacrifice myself by pulling out my secondary. I can just run up and hit them with the shield. They can't really move, and it makes my life easier. So stun grenade is a very, very good tactical to use. The field upgrade isn't too important with the riot shield. I've just been using dead silence. There's a few on here that can be used with the riot shield, but nothing really that is huge. I like dead silence because obviously I can move quicker, and when you have dead silence with a riot shield, no one can hear you whatsoever, so you can get up behind a bunch of people with that riot shield and get a lot of kills from behind. But anyway, guys, that is the best riot shield class setup in Modern Warfare currently. If you guys have any questions or anything else to add, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video. Can we be friends?